Hey, what's up, fellas? What's up, ladies? What's going on, beautiful people of the United States of America and around the world? We are here again today, live people. This is going to be more of a kind of personal business investment development, a little bit all in one, right? So, as you can see here, I try to make this as best as possible. Some of you guys have probably seen this quadrant, right? The cash flow quadrant. Okay. This is not my concept. This concept is from Robert Kiyosaki, another well known entrepreneur, businessman, economist, investor. Okay. So basically, guys, let me break this down, show you what this means. Okay. This is before we go into this, um, please, if you like the content that I provide to you, please click the like and subscribe button below. Really helps this channel circulate around YouTube so more people can get updated on this type of information and to get clear on pretty much what they want, right? So this channel is mostly an entrepreneurship, development, and investment channel where we discuss investment projects, business ideas, and everything in real world, in real time, right? So we don't like to really discuss in theory. We might do a couple theory. A couple theory, examples, but mostly what we're really talking about is real world things here. Okay, so definitely go ahead and like our channel, and you'll be updated with more information every time we come out with a new video. All right, so if we look at this chart here, guys, okay, this is um this is a cash flow quadrant, right? So this is by Robert Kiyosaki. Okay, I'm not claiming this concept. Again, I'm definitely giving credit to Robert Kiyosaki. Okay, this is his concept. This is where I learned this from. Okay, some of you guys watching this channel, some of you guys probably have learned this process too. Some of you guys probably know what I'm talking about, right? Some of you guys maybe know, maybe you guys may be forgotten, or maybe not, right? But this is the concept, okay? Pretty much here, guys, we're looking at the top left here, right, of the four square. I like to call it four square. If you guys remember in elementary school, you guys played four square. Maybe you swung on the swings, but me, I was cool, so I played four square. Okay. So we have here in the top left here, you have E for employee, right? So I'm gonna let you guys know, what everything means and where I love to play, where I would definitely where I love to play, where I want to continue playing for the rest of my life. Okay. And again, none of this is, right or wrong. This is just the reality of the situation. Okay. That most people in America are in. Okay. E right here in the top left, this is for employee, right? So this can be anyone who's employee at a company, right? This can be an employee, a high paying employee, right? It can be, an athlete, a sports star, right? Their job is to play the sport, right? Uh, these people make money, obviously, right? So this is E for employee, right? So let's get a text here, and let's see if we can write E for employee over here. 1 second here. Okay, looks like I think we can do that. This is kind of the first time using this too, so bear with me here. Okay. Okay. All right. So anyways, guys, I'm just going to speak it into existence so you guys can hear it. So this is E for employee, right? So employees, right, and they get paid pretty good, right, depending on the job that you're at, right? And then on the bottom of here, the bottom left, S is for self-employed, right? This can be doctors, lawyers, accountants, real estate agents, people that have clients, right? People that meet with clients, right? This could be barbers, right? They could be very high paying as well, depending on their network, depending on the people that they meet with, all this type of stuff, right? So this is S for self-employed. Right. And if you're self-employed too, you still fill out a 1099, right, in your taxes, but you're also taxed at a 60% tax bracket level. So you're also taxed at 60%, guys, right? So E for employees, usually they're taxed, nationally, they're taxed at 40%. Okay, so at the 40% tax bracket. This is why when you're an employee, when you work, right? So this is why every time, when I used to work too at, at my job. So I used to work at a bookstore, right? So, when I had the check come in, right, I thought it was going to be a lot more. I thought it was going to be a good, six, 700, but it ended up being like a good 450, 500 sometimes, sometimes even less, right? Why? Because of taxes, right? Taxes, everybody pays taxes, right? But I'm going to show you how, definitely these guys on the right side definitely pay less taxes, okay? And again, I'm not saying anything is right or wrong. This is just facts, okay? You can, if you don't believe me, you can go ahead on Google, go ahead again, search someone else on YouTube and see if what I'm saying is true. And then after you validate it, you guys can come back and listen to more of what I'm saying, or, definitely just listen to what I'm saying. All right. So this is B, obviously, for the top right. You have B for big business, right? So B for business owner, right? So business owners, so like you have the McDonald's, you have the Facebook, you have the Teslas, right? You can have the medium-sized business, right? You can even have a small business that operates more like a big business, right? So even if you have an online business, right, you can operate like you are a big business, right? You just have to have the right setup and you have to make sure you are set up properly as a business to do that, right? So these guys, these business owners here, these guys get, let me see if I can actually get the pencil here. These guys get taxed at a 20% level. Okay. And taxes is pretty important, right, guys? We all know that every year, right? We all do the same thing every year, right? We're all, worried about money going, back and forth. We're all stressing out. We're all growing gray hair, going back and forth, having all this stress in our heads about how we're going to make things meet, how we're going to get things going, right? And that's understandable, right? That's understandable. People have different life situations, and things happen, right? But instead of paying, 40, and you can still do this. This is what some people I see even doing are doing nowadays, right? You don't even, what I'm saying, I'm not saying to quit your job and do big business. You can even do both, right? You can even still work and still be a business owner, and you can even pay less taxes by doing that, right? So you want a fatter refund check, right? You can even still be a business owner, or you have a side business, or maybe if you cater to certain clients, you definitely want to set up your service more as a business so you can get taxed less, right? That is definitely going to help you, right? And we said the self-employed person gets a 60% tax rate, right? Okay. So you have, business owners get at most 20%, right? Sometimes this is even less. Okay. Sometimes this is even less. And as a business, too, guys, what's so great and is so wonderful is that you can write off literally a lot of things, literally almost anything you can write off, except for a few things, right? You can write off your car, right? You can write off gas payments, right? You can write off, you know, going out for food, right? That's another business expense you can write off, right? You can write off equipment that you buy for your business, right? You can write off the place that you stay, right? So, you know, your home office or whatever. You can write off a lot of different things. And what it does, guys, once you write it off, okay, it's more of a that is able to you're able to create a deduction from from the income that you're offsetting that you're making, right? So you're able to you know you're able to actually have a tax deduction and and get more of a tax refund, right? So, and the thing I love about businesses too is that you don't even have to be profitable to be able to write off, right? Say if you're having a bad year, you made some money, you made some sales, but you weren't profitable, that's still fine. Everything that you bought for advertising, everything that you bought for equipment, everything that you bought for the business to do under the business, you can write off and save tons of money. Okay, but if you are not a business, if you're an employee, and if you are operating some sort of, say, side hustle, but you are not properly you don't have your proper articles of incorporation, you are not properly set up, say, for example, as an LLC or as an S corporation or as a C corporation, if you are not properly set up, you will still be hit with a lot of those taxes, right? You will still be hit with a lot of those taxes, right? And you'll still have to pay them, and you're definitely going to get less of a tax refund, right? So, you know, business is amazing, right? So even things that you pay for the business, right? Say, you know, maybe you have some annual fees you have to pay for the business. You can even write those off, right? So business really gives you an operating corporately and under a business, right? It gives you more flexibility to write things off, but also to get certain perks, right? In terms of maybe business loans, credit, and stuff like that. So you're really operating, once you're operating as a business, you're taken more seriously, okay? And it gives you a lot more perks, right? So again, 20% tax bracket under businesses, right? So investors, guys, this is where it gets kind of crazy because as an investor, you get to pay you get to pay 0%. A lot of investors pay close to 0% taxes, right? And that's because people don't even know this, right? So if you look in our tax code, this is what the government wants you to do. They want you to invest in projects that they are not able to invest in, right? They want the entrepreneurs, they want the go-getters, the people that are thinking big, the people that are working hard, right? Obviously, you know, the go-getters, the people that are working not only hard but smart. They want they want these people to invest in big projects, for example, in oil wells, right? For oil exploration or for green energy or in real estate, right? So you're investing in those projects, you're providing housing to people that actually need it, and you're also able to get taxed at a 0% tax rate, right? How are you able to do that? Well, there's lots of different ways, but mostly I'm going to give you a general example. Especially even through real estate, it's through a concept called depreciation, right? So that value of the house, right, it's depreciating. You're able to take that value and kind of offset the value of the house to what you paid for, right? So you're able to pay zero taxes on it, right? And if you want to learn more about the concept too, you can go ahead and hop in on Google and see what I'm talking about there too. You can also go ahead and look up Tom Thomas Wheelwright, right? So Tom Wheelwright, he's a great tax professional. He works with Robert Kiyosaki as well, who came up with this concept of the cash flow quadrant too. So once you're an investor, guys, you're able to do a lot more, right? So you have kind of the flexibility, sort of like business owners, right? And the government is backing you. Okay, and so you're investing in projects that the government's not going to really want to do, right? They're busy doing other things. So if you're coming in as a smart investor, as a smart entrepreneur, and you're looking to, set out and perform on a project, the government will actually reward you through also tax credits for doing these types of things, right? So this is why personally I always will plan to stay on the right side of the quadrant over here. Okay, again, there's nothing wrong with being an employee or self-employed, but you're definitely paying high taxes, as you can see, right? And so say if you're an employee, you're supposed to get paid, they told you at the job, you're supposed to get paid 1,400, or even, 1,000 a week. That's probably going to turn into, say, 1,000 a week. That's probably going to turn into a good, 700, right? Because you're paying a good maybe 650, 700, right? Or even maybe 800, right? Being lucky, right? Why? Because you're paying taxes. You got to be paying those taxes, and that's just part of the law. So this is why I kind of want to get you guys to think here, and think about, really what you want to do, right? Say if you're in a position now, you are working, right? And, say you like where you work, but, you feel like you're not getting paid enough, right? And you're also looking at your check, you're like, man, I mean, if they didn't take taxes, I would have been getting paid so much more, right? I would highly suggest starting, or even trying to do a service business or a side hustle where you enjoy, and try to set up your business entity, right? I mean, you can, you don't have to go super fancy and hire a lawyer to do that, right? So you can even look online, see certain places that are able to help you out setting up a business entity. It is a little bit costly, but it is worth it in the long run, right? Because you have your business up for years at a time, you're able to take advantage of a lot of things, including not paying so many taxes and having a bigger tax refund, right? So it definitely has its perks. And don't only set up the business just to pay, lower taxes, right? You want to make sure you're setting up a business that you love doing, right? Say if you love fixing cars, you want to set up, a mechanics business. You want to set up an actual corporation, right? You want to get set up properly, and you're able to do that. Maybe you're able to rent out a space and fix cars, right? Then that's mazel tov. Do that, most definitely, right? You have clients that come in, you set up as a business, they're paying you, you're doing jobs well, maybe business could go, maybe you're going to leave your job to do the business full time, right? Either way, operating business wise, you just definitely making that transition, guys. And I talk about this in my podcast, making this transition from being an employee to a business owner, right? Or even an investor here, right, guys? It is a step. It's a step that you have to make, right? Some people, maybe you're getting some really good money at your job, you really want to start your business, but your job's paying for your bills, maybe your car or your rent or whatever it is, right? um it's tough, right? But you can do it. You can definitely do it, right? And say you even in life's all about risk, right? Investing, business, everything's risk. Even jobs are risky, right? There's no guarantee that you're going to be an employee forever. They could end up firing you, right? They could fire you. The risk of being an employee is that your boss can fire you because the company has, they don't need you anymore. Maybe technology took you out the equation, right? So, being an employee, there's risk there too. Being in self-employed, there's risk there too, right? There's risk because maybe you're working for yourself, nobody can fire you, but maybe you suck at bringing clients in and you can't bring clients in because your communication skills are awful, right? Or, you don't really know how to talk to approach people, right? Or maybe you need to get better at certain communications, right? Or you need a bigger network, right? Maybe you need a bigger network, right? Right. So bigger network. Your network's not big enough, right? And obviously, nowadays too, it's really great too. What really helps right now is the fact that we have social media and online. So even if you're not maybe super how's I call it how they call it extroverted, like in real life, maybe you're shy, maybe you're introverted, maybe you're quiet, but you have a very big online presence. That can definitely also help boost your business as well too, because there are a lot of people that are introverts, that are quiet, that keep to themselves, but are massively successful. They have lots of clientele. Why? Because they're really good at their craft, but they're not super extroverts in real life, right? They know how to cut hair really well. They know how to maybe cut lawns or grass really well, but they don't really talk. They're not at everyone's throats in real life, right? They're really to themselves. They're quiet, but they have a bigger network on social media. People like and see what they're doing. People are going to hire you. There are other businesses and companies. They're probably going to reach out to you because of a great job you're doing, right? So it's not always about outside communication. Maybe you're really good at what you're doing, but you know, you don't talk about it, and that's fine, but people are going to see it, right? And that's the power of social media, and you're able to leverage that too, right? So there's also risk in business, right? There's risk in business that you're not going to make any sales, right? So zero sales, right? Zero sales, right? And there's risk maybe that you're not going to get any customers, right? So no customers or not enough sales or not turning a profit, right? Mind my spelling, guys. So no customers, no sales, no profit, right? That's a risk, right? But again, we're living in the digital realm now, so it's not the same. Business is definitely not the same as it used to be, right? It's similar, but it's not the same. We have more and more opportunities, especially online. There are different ways you can promote your business, and so people can hop in and see who you are, right? There's different ways you can advertise yourself, right? Through Instagram, through Facebook, through TikTok, through Snapchat, through other sources, right? Through Google, right? Through YouTube. Okay. There are different ways, right? And then obviously as an investor too, the risk is that you can, and I talk about this too in my other videos, obviously you can see you can lose you can lose your entire portfolio by making the wrong decision, right? So you can lose your entire portfolio by making the wrong decision, right? So the wrong decision. And for example, the couple last videos that I talk about, the risk is that, hey, and that's not even investment, those are gambling sites, right? So the HYIP websites that I talk about, say if you're thinking you're investing, you're not really investing, you're gambling, right? Or for example, maybe you were invested in a well-known oil exploration project, but that was a little bit risky. The project ended up failing and you didn't get your money back. That was a risk. You took the risk and you got no reward. right? Or maybe you invested in a real estate deal, okay, and you got the property, you ended up fixing the property, uh, you put money into it, and it's a nice property, but no one rents it out. So you have no cash flow, okay, and you have a liability in your hands instead of an asset. Okay, so you don't have, that's something that you don't have cash flow coming in, right? And that's the main thing that I love about business and investments is you need that cash flow. That cash flow is definitely important. Okay, so there is risks in everything, guys, right? So the main thing I love to tell people is that we want to mitigate, right? We want to mediate our risk, right? We want to uh, make sure that we bring those factors down. We don't want lots of risk. We're trying to get low risk, right? Obviously, for a job that you have now, that's a little bit lower risk because you're getting paid, you're doing the job well. It's really lower risk of you getting fired from the job, right? Or you're a good self-employed person, you're doing a good job. Not nobody's out of nowhere out of nowhere, nobody's going to say, hey, I don't like you anymore. Screw you, I'm going somewhere else. If you're doing a good job, that's very low risk that somebody is going to say, I'm not going to work with you anymore. Say, even for business, right? You're having sales, you're having a great week, you're having a great month, you're having, a great year, right? And, business is moving, you're getting more and more clout, you're getting more and more attention. It's very low risk for your business to collapse and fail because of how much attention it's getting, right? Say if you're an investor and your investments, you're doing well, you have been for the oil exploration, you have you've drilled a couple, holes of oil, and you got a couple gallons of oil already, and the exploration is doing well. It's very low risk for that to end, right? Or for your in real estate, say you invested in a property, somebody already has been renting out for 2 years. They really love the property, and they're still looking to make changes in their life. It's very low risk for them to move somewhere else and for them not to rent out your property, right? So again, guys, there is risk, but we try to mediate that. So that is the cash flow quadrant two, guys. This is Robert Kiyosaki's, guys. If you want to learn more about this too, you can definitely go visit him. This is his concept. But yeah, if you like, content like this too, please, guys, leave comments below. Let me know what you think, and definitely click the like and subscribe button below. It really helps this content circulate around YouTube. I'll be coming out with more content like this as well too, so you guys can see kind of the big picture things that I'm talking about, so you can make your decision, right? Do you want to be on the left side or do you want to be on the right side? My game, I love staying on the right side, right? And if anything, love staying on the bottom right, right? I mean, love that, right? But you obviously, you might love being on the left side. That's perfectly fine too. There's no right answer. It's just what you want to do, right? What you're good at. So that's what it is, guys. So I'll see you guys soon in the next one, okay? Peace out.